Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Roush, and welcome back to Week 6 of the Pokemon Speedruns Draft League Season 7. This is going to be my match. Yeah, that's kind of why we're here. We don't do separate team builder and battle videos anymore. Haha! You know, you would think that after doing this for a few weeks that I would remember. Anyways, this is a very important week, because it's the trade deadline after this. So, I mean, I gotta lock in my team for the rest of the season. I don't know if I'm gonna be making any trades based on, like, I kind of think I have a solid core. I like it. It's doing some work. The only problem is whether or not I would want to keep Greninja, but I feel like I could do something with it if I only tried. It's one of those mons that just kind of feels like I could do something if given the opportunity. So, anyways, and then there's Kadabra, but Kadabra is a 2-pointer. I don't know, there's not really a whole lot of good 2-pointers that would be able to do anything, as opposed to what the rest of my mons do. Maybe there's something in there that has an uber-specific niche, but other than that, there's not really a reason to change anything up. So anyway, here is my team. As you can see, kills are just sort of spread all across the board. Everybody has done something, except for Buzzwole, which was kind of funny. It was supposed to do something last week, but it never really got the chance. It had, well, I mean, it had the chance, but I chose to take a different route. I could have had it do something there at the very end, but I think I kind of just went for the, and it might have been a little BM in hindsight, but for the Slow King to go ahead and pick up the passive KO on Darmanitan, as opposed to, I don't actually know if Buzzwole would have lived to hit it, because it was a Scarf Flare Blitz. So, anyways, regardless, here's my team. Mega Aggron is the MVP. Otherwise, everybody else is kind of just around the same spot. Nobody's really high up on the MVP rank besides. But it's overall just a team effort. Everybody is putting in stuff. As you can see, my standings, because we are using a format, we're using Challenge for our standings. The team standings you see here isn't exactly accurate, so might be. I'm actually in, I believe I'm in 5th place overall, but you know what? Anyways, team's the same. Cambridge Camera Up's time. I don't know why. I don't know why that's written wrong there on the team schedule. I don't know why that extra E is there. Whoops, somebody did a goof, and it probably was me. Anyways, Parahax is our opponent this week. He's got wins against the Final Mix, the Atlanta Braviaries, and Microsoft. Not exactly impressive victories based on where those teams are in the standings, although Swift has had a pretty decent season, considering she says she hasn't done Draft League in years. But also important to note, Snivy and others, pretty good season. That's Coach U Rocks. There's a chance that we actually face him in the last couple of weeks, based on how the format goes. So, good season on his part. And then North Florida Knights is Fan, who Fan's got a very good record against me. So the losses are not surprising, but Parahax has kind of had, based on his track record of previous seasons, especially the last two, kind of an underwhelming Season 6. He's gone on quote saying he didn't like his team, so he actually made some changes at the last minute, literally as I was finished prepping for him, so I had to change a bunch of things around in order to accommodate for this. So he originally had a Galarian Moltres and a Arcanine, which Intimidate would have been a problem. I wouldn't have liked that. But he's arguably made an upgrade against my team in the fact that Zarude has a much better speed tier. And regular Moltres has Flame Body. So those are things that really have changed the way that I want to play this match, because it's much easier for my Pokemon to get burned, and I can't just switch into something to take a Will-O-Wisp from Arcanine to prevent getting burned. No, if I accidentally hit Moltres in the wrong way or look at it sideways funny, I'm burned. Much in the same way that I try to go for Poison Touch poisons and Static Paralyzes. So, paralyses. So it's kind of my own thing flung right back at me. Anyways, Tornadus Theory and Slowbro. Mega Medicham is a huge problem because it's very offensive, and my Mons aren't exactly faster than it, bar Kadabra and Greninja. Greninja kind of needs to be banded respect in order to do anything to it. And Kadabra gets outsped by Zarude, otherwise it would be so cool to bring in this matchup. But it speed ties with Zarude, which is the other reason why I don't like Zarude in here. So, spoiler alert, I was actually going to bring Kadabra. And then Zarude shows up, and I had to back out of it. It would have been cool to try. But anyways, let's talk about what I really am bringing. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, to team speed matchups. I mean, Parahax has this very bad speed tier problem in that he's got to bring a lot of speed on his slow mons to outspeed stuff like Mega Aggron, Piloswine, and likely isn't going to be outspeeding Sylveon unless he does like a max speed Caparaja. Other than that, none of his team really cares to outspeed it. Vikavolt especially, but Marowak might. I don't know. So this is kind of an interesting dynamic going on. First mon that I'm bringing this week is Mega Aggron, so Sir Aaron Big is back once again with a Rest Talk set. Much similar to the way that I played it against, was it Slim? It wasn't Slim. Haxorus. Much similar to the way that I played against Haxorus. Sir Aaron Big is going to be Rest Talking with Thunder Punch and Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam, you know, before this season, I didn't actually realize how devastating this stupid thing's Heavy Slam was, because almost everything on God's green earth gets, like, absolutely flattened by it. It's almost, it's 120 base power on, like, 95% of all Pokemon, which is insane. To go along with its base 140 attack stat. So you really don't need that much investment for it to be doing massive amounts of damage. Thunder Punch is there mainly for that Moltres, and the fact that I do live a non-modest Flamethrower or a non-Fire Blast allows me to potentially get a Thunder Punch KO, well, two-shot. It does like 49.7% min to, I believe that was max HP Moltres. So it's not great, but I can surprise it with the Thunder Punch. Does pretty decent neutral coverage to Parahax's team, but Heavy Slam is the main crux because everything on his team, bar Heavy Metal Caparage, gets hit extremely well, and Caparaja doesn't really do that much in return. Best it could do is like Sheer Force Life Orb stuff. With like, I think it's Superpower or Earthquake. But even that's like barely two-shotting. Potentially. The calc's gonna be up and I'm gonna look at it as we go along. Next Pokemon I'm bringing is Minimoo. I wanted Rocks, and Ice coverage with Ground is pretty good against the team. Not many Mons want to switch into this thing's Ice Skull Crash. Ice Shard is there to get some last-second damage off on things, especially Tornadus, because no HP Tornadus actually takes 45+% from this Ice Shard because of my Adamant nature and my little bit of investment. And I do guarantee to live one Focus Blast if it is max Timid. And I very live a Heat Wave because of my thick fat. Obviously, Stealth Rocks is there for Stealth Rock things. But something like a Vikavolt could take advantage of this Pilswine and try and do something. But, you know, that's kind of why Ice Shard's there, is I don't need to be faster than things in order to be effective. Next up, we're bringing Sylveon. I really wanted to bring Mystical Fire and do some sort of kind of offensive set to deal with the potential Caparage switch in. But in the long run, this is going to be a war of attrition, I think. It helped more to have Wish Protect. I tried to do a Berry for said Caparage, but it was just better. It was just better in the long run to go with a Pixelate with the leftovers. There's my investment, Bold Nature, because we want to take hits as well from Medicham as we can. So the good thing is Mega Medicham doesn't... It's got 4 Mooselot Syndrome in all this. So it's got to be carrying one of either Zen Headbutt... Well, it's got to pick 4 out of High Jump Kick, Zen Headbutt, Bullet Punch Fake Out, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch... Maybe it didn't care about... Yeah, it won a Thunder Punch. Zen Headbutt, which I think I've said like 3 times at this point. But it doesn't matter. So using Sylveon to Wish Protect lets me kind of scout what his moveset is. Because depending on what it is, I have different checks. Psyshock is there mainly for the Nihilego, because otherwise Nihilego wants to just come in for free. I do live a non-choice spec Sludge Wave, thanks to my investment. And Expert Belt 1 is doing like 78% min, so it's not great. But the good news is Psyshock is a 2-shot, so it's not a switch in, per se, if I predict correctly. So yeah, there's Sylveon this week. Zapdos, we're going offensive. My best way of dealing with Medicham, other than hitting it on the switch-in, is trying to just kill it outright. So lots of my Mons do a lot of damage overall. For instance, Aggron plus 1 Rocky Helmet chip is a 62% chance to kill. So if I lead off with Aggron, and he leads off with Medicham, or he switches into Medicham, my Heavy Slam does that much damage. I live a High Jump Kick. I live an Adamant High Jump Kick, too. That's something to note, thanks to Filter. And then Rocky Helmet kills. But otherwise, Zapdos is a clean one-shot with Hurricane. Hurricane is a pretty good move against Parahax's team. Thunderbolt is also a very good move against Parahax's team. Heat Wave is kind of there so that I don't have to hit Hurricane on a Zarude, potentially, because Zapdos has an okay type matchup against Zarude, like something like a Bandit, Darkest Lariat. Could be a problem, but the good news is he has to be jolly in order to outspeed me, so that means he's not Adamant, which is 10% power boost, so it's kind of nice for me. But Heat Wave is also there for the Caparaja, because unless it's Assault vested or very heavily max HP and Spadef invested, Heat Wave is going to 2-shot. Because 125 special attack, as I learned last week, is a lot of special attack. So we're going to try and use that to our advantage to stop this. Last Mon is going to be Slowking. Here is my Helmet Mon. I bounced back and forth. I could even change it the last second. Thunder Wave. As opposed to Slack Off. Flamethrower is a given. Scald is a given, especially because Moltres is a thing. Scald, unless the Moltres is running like a Spadef set, is going to be a 2-shot. So it should be out-damaging its Roosts, which is something that's very useful, especially because I can Thunder Wave it and really help prevent those Roosts. Otherwise, Rocky Helmet is there because of the calc I mentioned before on the Medicham. Teleport is there so that I can get out of jail free. Well, get into somebody else free, not out of jail. But that's the point. Slowking is here. It really is worried about Zarude. So Zarude is a huge problem for me. Oh! Muck. I forgot about you. Yeah, so Black Sludge. I don't have Heal Bell. I don't have Lumberry. I'm gonna get burned by Moltres. I'm gonna get burned by Moltres. There's probably not gonna be much that I can do about that, unless he just doesn't bring it. But I don't know. I don't think he should not bring it because I have Aggron. Aggron kind of like loves the team if it doesn't bring Moltres because it can eat. Tornadoes hits pretty well. Anyways, max HP, a little bit of Spit F, making sure that we're adamant this week. And the main reason is because Poison Jab, Poison into Shadow Sneak kills Mega Medicham. Mega Medicham just straight out kills with a Jolly High Jump Kick. I think X actually a damage roll, but I don't have Defog, so if Stealth Rocks are on the field, a level Muck kind of dies. This thing is mainly is here more for the Latias, because Latias doesn't really like taking knockoff pursuit from this thing. It's very nice, because Latias' bulkier side is by far its special. So Alolan Muck is going to be kind of good. We're going to do what we normally do. We're going to try and get some poisons. We're going to click knockoff and make somebody lose their item. And also, all of his dark resists are weak to the poison jab, so that was kind of cool. This thing doesn't do badly against Zarude, doesn't do great either, because, I mean, if it's a bulk up jungle healing set, it can be a problem. In which case, Sylveon kind of just has to I have to go like Sylveon immediately and pray that I live a Power Whip, because Power Whip Lariat is pretty strong against the team that I brought, because even Mega Aggron starts losing his power thanks to the bulk up. So we do need to be careful. Anyways, yeah, that's the team that I'm bringing. We'll do a quick review of Parahax's team. I think he ought to bring the Tornadus. I don't know if he would. That might be one thing that he would forgo. Medicham ought to show up. I feel like Nihilego ought to show. I'm not sure Vikavolt. That one's a weird one. Latias probably would show, maybe even as a Scarf variant, because it outspeeds Salamence at +1. So that could be a potential thing that he could do. And I feel like Zarude needs to show. So my thought is Torn, Cham, Nihilego, Moltres, Latias, Zarude. Although he could also surprise and bring Kaparaja and almost everything else on here. I feel like shouldn't show up. Slowbro kind of just has a very weird matchup against my team in general. It could come, but I am not entirely sure that he would. But anyways, so that's the team that I think he's going to bring. We've seen the team that I am bringing. We'll go ahead and get into the battle. Alright, so unfortunately, this is not going to take very long at all. So I'm probably going to have to add some filler onto the back end of this battle, because things happen really quickly. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the leads. Once again, this is post-commentary, because this didn't really go out so well. And it starts with this crit. Now, it wouldn't have been a problem if I had wished, but I really wanted to get some damage off, so I went for the Hyper Voice. I don't have... If I had Heal Bell, I'd be staying in this turn, Sylveon. But I don't. So I really want to make sure that I don't have a problem. So I'm just going to protect, get my leftovers up, and I notice that Parahax has the Toxic. So this means I'm going to go out into the Alolan Muck. And at this point, I'm already a little bit discouraged because of that first turn crit. And I know this thing, because it didn't have pressure, didn't show pressure, means It is in fact poison, or sorry, not poison, flame body. So I'm actually really, I'm not sure about. I'm expecting to get burnt at some point. But anyways, Parahax makes a great play, goes for the U-turn, goes on out into his Marowak. I go out into Slow King, which isn't a switch in because this thing is adamant and knockoff, and I didn't bring a switch in. This Marowak is just an absolute threat to me. It was a good play on his part to even bring the thing. But yeah, he makes the prediction, gets a critical hit Stone Edge. I don't think it was living anyway. I don't think it was living. So, like, this has just been an absolutely taxi start to the match, and I don't expect it to go better. I mean, it's just a bunch of really good predictions. I go out into Minimoo just trying to get something out of this. I'm very tilted at this point. I get up Stealth Rocks. I know this thing defogs. I know he's got defoggers, but I don't know. I'm already done with this game, unfortunately. Like, mentally. I don't, like... It's been so long since I've actually played this game, I just remembered that it was stupid. Stupid hacksy, and I would have preferred if things had been a little bit better for me. Unfortunately, I just barely failed to kill the Vikavolt, and I just want something. I just want something at this point. Like, I can't win. I don't think I beat the Medicham at all because my Sylveon is at too little health, and my Zapdos, which is the only thing that I brought that could even compete with it speed-wise, is very gone. So I'm gonna go for, I believe I just knock here. Yeah. I'm expecting to get Flame Body Haxed at some point by this Moltres. But I do want to at least poison it on my way out. I'm already, like I said, I was done with this matchup. I was very defeatist about it. So I go for the Poison Jab, and I do get a crit. Yay me! No poison, which would have been even more helpful than a critical. Thanks, game. And Parahax is actually going to go for the Flamethrower this turn. And he gets the burn. That's fun. I would have killed it. I would have killed it. No Poison Jab, poison. We've gone through a knockoff and 2 Poison Jabs. No poison, but I get burned on the Flamethrower. What you gonna do? And it lives. It lives the Shadow Sneak. And he gets the Roost off. What the fuck am I gonna do? It's just... That's it. We're gonna go ahead and just fast forward through everything else. I'm done. I get the poison finally. And, yeah. That's it. He kills me. Puts me in range. I just let the game go. Take off flinch. Send headbutt. Ice shard. Energy ball. I don't even get a kill in this game. I don't even get a kill. It would have been nice to get a kill. But, no. I would have killed with the Shadow Sneak had I not gotten burned by the Flamethrower. By the Flamethrower. Not even a Flame Body, but to get by the Flamethrower. Just nothing. And yeah. That's it. I fall to 3-3. I have to win out in order to make playoffs now. Because I don't know how the math's going to stack up at the end of the season, but 20 people and only top 8 make playoffs. And with, like, it's actually getting really bunched up towards the top. We have a bunch of people who are 3-3, a couple of people who are 4-1, a few people who are, I said 4-1, I meant 5-1. We have 3 people at 5-1. They've only lost to each other, which is Sun, Aberforth, and Amaranth. Kind of amusing. Suns beat Amaranth. No. Sun beat Amaranth. Amaranth. Wait, I messed this up. Jeez. People lost to whom? Aberforth beat Amaranth. Amaranth beat Sun. And Sun beat Aberforth. There, that's how it went. Anyways, that's how that goes. So we have 3 people at 5-1. We have oh jeez, we have a lot of people at 4-2. We have Cyndakill, FN Crazy, Roush, Parahax. Oh jeez, hold on. I got it. Let me bring up the actual standings page. I could do this. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to do some math here. Amaranth, Aberforth, Sunrakasha, all at 5-1. You have Cyndakill, FN Crazy, Roush, Parahax. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 people who are currently at 4-2. That's correct. We're currently at 4-2. And then at 3-3, it's myself, Enrico, Nova, otherwise known as the Chicago Comfies, Microsoft at Swift, Amoeba, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all of our 3-3 people. So do the math. Like I said, there's 6 people who already have 4 wins. Yeah, sorry. That's 7, right? 7 people already have 4 wins. 4-4 is not making the playoffs. So I need to get to 5-3. So I have to win out. And I already know my matchup for this week. I really like it on paper. I think it's going to go well. But like I said, it is a must-win situation for me. So yeah. And you know what? While I'm killing time here, I might as well go over some stuff from the MVP board. So the funny thing is, Cyndakill, coach of the Nice Nido Kings, he is French, has 2 of the top 5 in the MVP race. He's got Tapu Lele and Mega Kangaskhan. Like, he's got an absolute threat of a team. And I don't want to face him. I really don't. He's one of those teams that, and I mean this in the best possible way, like he's not used 3 of the Mons on his team so far. And it's kind of funny because he's got 3 Mons that are a cap hit of 4 or less. He's got Shiftry, Tortuga, and Charjabug. And then Deoxys Defense is a Mon that he hasn't used at all. Which is absolutely insane to think that you drafted Deoxys Defense, yet with how your team's going, it doesn't fit on there at all. So he's never brought the Deoxys, he hasn't brought the Shiftry, and he hasn't brought the Tortuga. But he's used that Charjabug in all but 1. So he's brought 5 times. And because it sets webs, like it's been fantastic for him. He's played really well with it. So it's kind of interesting seeing how I just lost to the Vikavolt here. But that's a team that I don't want to face. Obviously, Parahax, I just lost to, so I won't have to play him again. Next week, I think there is a chance that I have to play one of the, well, I mean, I already know my matchup. So, just so that you guys know, there might be a chance that I have to face somebody who's already 4-2. Not looking forward to that. But it can't be Slim, and it can't be Enrico. So I do have that as solace. But yeah, no, it's gonna be unfortunate having to play win out to end the season. But hey, we'll try and make it work. Anyways, hopefully I've stalled for enough time. The video isn't exactly a spoiler. Anyways, we'll see you all for next week. Roush is out. Peace.